here we are. It's one of those things. It's been a while for us. We've been making wine for almost 18 years now. Most wineries, when they come to that point of age and maturity, it's making a fortified. And I guess for us with Witching Hour, it's sort of like when sometimes you have a boo-boo happen, you can actually make something amazing out of it. And back when we started out, we were making Shiraz, Viognier, and Viognier. And like typical males, we sort of forgot a couple barrels of our Viognier from those vintages. And when we found them a few years later, we smelt them and they were past the point of usability as table wine. So we decided that we were going to take the sojourn down the road, the path of making a fortified. Wind the clock forward, 12 years. And the opportunity came back to revisit it. We seriously just left it in cryostasis for that entire period of time. Didn't look at it, didn't touch it, didn't top it up. And we opened up those barrels, and it was this magnificent treacle that comes from patience, from Mother Nature, from just waiting for wine to do what wine does. And that's where Witching Hour came from. So bringing back a sample to the office, we're sitting around the room and talking to them, chatting as I usually do about what it is, where it came from, the boo-boo that I made, and the great thing that came from that boo-boo. And it was really like, what do we do? And to me, as a Canadian, when I first moved here, we all started out, you'd go on the barbecue and you'd either start drinking beer while you're cooking up snags and steaks and finish off with red wine. And after you had a skinful of all of that, the perfect thing that every Aussie does is, at the end of the night when you're absolutely had a skinful is, let's open a fortified wine up. And as a Canadian, I've learned to say no to that. And this is one of those things. So to me, it's that Witching Hour. You think that it's the right thing to do, and then all of a sudden it's blurred vision. And it's an amazing way to end the night, but a really bad way to wake up the next day. So that's where the concept of the package came from was, we all have these wonderful thought processes at the time and regret them in the morning. And when it was time to bottle this wine, we rallied everybody in the office, Alice and Lauren and myself, and we actually hand bottled and waxed every single one of these. So this is touched by every person on the team at Zontes that we offer you guys as a little bit of a snippet. It's a once in a lifetime thing. We're definitely not going to do it again. That is the only fortified Viognier that we have made and that we are going to make. So they're little time capsules of what's happened in our life. So, one of the things for me is it's just such a wonderful drink. It's not, from a North American standpoint, we talk about port from Portugal or sherry from sherry or, Calvados. They're all these established bases. In Australia, fortified is just fortified. We had port, we had sherry styles, and then we had all these other bits and pieces in between. And the beauty is this just shows you what happens. Look at that when you pour it in the glass. It's just this deep, dark, sort of stained tea color, burnt orange, amber, peach skins. And, made from Viognier. So it's going to be reminiscent of all those flavor profiles that you get out of Viognier. So lots of that sort of barbecued peach skin, mandarin characteristics. It's got, obviously you're going to get toffee sort of overtones from that sort of fortification and reduction period of time. But it's just lovely, dense complexity that only comes from waiting for Mother Nature to do what she does best. So, enough of my yapping, put it up to your nose and smell it. There's a bit of that, we talk about aldehyde in wine. It's that lifted sort of volatile acid. It lifts it, makes it more aromatic. Yeah. But it's not offensive. To me, there's cold soaked orange pekoe tea. There's that sort of poached not poached, barbecued peach skin characters. Nectarine stones. It's just, it's lovely. It's honey. Honeyed characteristics. You just smell it and go, wow, that's amazing. And then you put it in your mouth. and it's viscous and round.
Yeah.
And you swallow it and you go, whoa, because it is 19% alcohol.
Yeah.
It's not it's not this sleeping little demure thing. But on the finish, you get that lovely treacle molasses.
Yep.
You know, there's more tea leaf and orange and almost like a vanilla characteristic that I find that comes through it too. It is absolutely fantastic. You know, obviously these styles of wines, perfect for dessert. You can have sticky date pudding is the go-to for this in my mind, always with fresh vanilla bean ice cream or a bit of clotted cream because you need that to help build on it. I actually pour a little bit of this, maybe a little bit less than what I have in the glass in when I'm making the whipped cream to put on those. It's dynamite. That caramel reduction just helps complement it. It's beautiful, beautiful little existence. Shot in the dark, a little bit of a unique characteristic. A little bit goes a long way. I have to say that.
Yeah.
But I guess that whole witching hour comes back to that story, you know, it's that late in the evening, early in the morning, sometimes when you're younger, where you open up that fortified bottle of wine and all of a sudden as you drink down the bottle, all of a sudden the witches pop out. And no one else will believe you that you saw them, because when you wake up, you're going to forget that you saw them. But hopefully it leaves a good impression. So that's witching hour. Hope you enjoy it. Cheers.
Cheers.